Hey guys, 5BasicLands here, and I'm here with a new deck profile called Go Mill Yourself or Mill Yourself. It's a pretty straightforward deck. Yeah. And hang on one second. If you haven't noticed, I got a new mat in the background, Grizzle brand in the background, looking pretty sexy. Yeah, you know you want them. Okay, anyways. And also, oh yeah, hold up one sec. And I got this in the mail today. I have some restored deck box. You know you want to watch that. It's pretty sweet. That should probably be my next video. Subscribe for that. I'll have it in my next video and you can check it out. And so anyways, so let's go. Go mill yourself. Let's get this out of the way. Okay. We got 24 creatures in this deck. It's pretty straightforward. Here we go. We got 2 Splinterfright. He's basically your boss creature. He's really awesome trample, and he gives himself ramp basically with this deck. You'll see how it works later on. So 2 of him. Then we got 1 Goldtree, which just makes this deck even better because of his effect. He's a 10/10, and having him cost less mana because you got creatures in the graveyard, which this deck exactly does, makes him awesome. And I only have one of them right now, but I probably should have more, but this is just a boss creature. I have other cards that I'd rather have in here also, but here we go. Next one we got Predators, just one of them. I probably wouldn't play with more than one because he's pretty mana specific, and he doesn't get stronger very fast because it only gets +1/+1 counters a turn basically, because no one wants to block him unless you really have to. So, but he can be really good if you get him starting hand. Okay, next one, let's go to Breeding Emissary. 3 of them. This is a tricolor deck, so, and I don't have a whole lot of dual lands, so he really helps the engine go a little faster. And he's pretty good at 2-drop too. And a lot of times they don't want to block him because of his effect, so he gets damage in there pretty good. Next, 3 Acidic Slime. This card, if you don't know what it is just awesome. He's a 5-drop, and he gets to destroy a card and Death Touch. That just makes this deck even better. And that's just basically destroy their artifacts and stuff. Because this deck needs protection. It's just got boss creatures, basically. And then this is basically a smaller version of Splinterfright. He just gets ramp, but he doesn't get trample. That's the only bad part. But he is a 2-drop. That's 2-drop that can be a 10/10. If you have enough creatures in the graveyard, that's too good. But this deck is late game. You have to have certain cards in your graveyard. Another boss creature. He's pretty good with this deck. Only one of them. I probably wouldn't want to play with more than one in this deck. He just spawns zombie creatures, tokens onto the battlefield, and sometimes you can get some of those zombies up to 5/5 or even more and have like 3 of them on the field, and they probably can't do anything about it, so it just makes this deck even better. And then, oh yeah, I forgot to say this is blue creatures. 4 of Armored Scab. This card just gives the engine its power. It's basically just mill cards, and you're hoping for creatures to make this deck better, because almost all the cards basically depend on creatures being in the graveyard. Sometimes when you mill, you just get horrible. It's like all sorceries and instants, and just makes this, you're like, why didn't you mill a creature? Next turn. And then you're probably in bad shape if that didn't happen. And then this card, it just makes the deck awesome. Okay, draw a card. Oh, this creature's not that good for me right now. Send it to the grave. Oh, nice. Just got some more creatures to the graveyard. Oh, Splinterfright, you're a 5/5 now? What now? Beat that. This card just makes the deck awesome. 3 of them. And last but not least, but yeah, actually it is last one. But anyways, however you say this card, but this card is basically can be a protector if you really needed some to, but he's just there to destroy the artifacts and enchantments. It's pretty easy to do that. You could put Naturalize in this deck, but he's a creature and Naturalize isn't, so he just makes the deck better. Like I said, 24 creatures, that's quite a bit. If you had them all in the graveyard, 24, that's practically unstoppable. Next, let's go to instants. The next card, this card Mulch right here, you gotta have at least 3 or 4 of them in the deck. It's pretty beast. You have to. It basically mills and you get land, and it makes you have less land in your deck because this is basically land itself. Because you can basically count on getting land from this almost, and a creature in the graveyard, and it makes you more consistent basically. Green Sun Zenith basically gives you another Splinter Fright. That's basically all you want to search out for. Unless they're both in the grave, you probably just search out Predator Ooze or anything that was needed. You could search out Acidic Slime, but it only does green creatures. Sad face, but oh well. But this card is boss. It's almost a win condition. I probably should have 2 in here, but I don't. I don't have another one. Oh well. Sue me. But okay, here we go. Next card. This Spider Spawning. This could be awesome. You just send this to the grave if you draw it with Merfolk Looter. Oh, I didn't really need this, and then you could just do flashback and get a dozen or so or more. How many creatures in the graveyard with its flashback cost? 1, 2 spiders with reach. That's really good. I don't know what to say about that card. That card's just too good. And then just more flashback cards. You can just send these to the grave if you accidentally mill them, or just send them to the grave on purpose with Merfolk Looter. Target creature gains Death Touch, and it has to be blocked. So you just say you have like this on the field, and they don't have any artifacts. You just play this on this. They have to block this, and then say the Splinter Fright's out, and they have to take all the damage of Splinter Fright or anything else that's pretty good in the field. So it just makes the deck even better. Disentomb, because a lot of times your boss creatures do go to the grave, so you could basically just play this and then get it in your hand and then play it next turn or the same turn, which is pretty good since you're milling non-stop basically. And this card, since this makes the deck survive. If you didn't have None of the Bone, this deck would be horrible. This deck really is late game deck. If you don't have life gain because of all the damage you've been taking, because you probably don't get a decent creature out until like turn 4, turn 5, and you've probably already taken like 5 damage maybe. You're already down to like a quarter of your life. So you have to get this out, or have this, and its flashback just makes it even better. You could just have like 30, you could have decent creatures out, and then you just play this. Oh, I'll just play this just to make you mad. Oh, gain 30 life? What now? What now? You can't do anything about that. It's really good. Next card. This is just another mill card. It's pretty good, and you get to choose one of the cards added to your hand. And it has flashbacks, which makes it even better. So let's go to next one. Mana Leak. Since this card really helps you out early game, and this deck suffers early game, this could be really helpful. And if they use all their mana, you just play this and oh, what now? But this really doesn't help late game. You could just discard it if you really had to. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. And then another boss creature, artifact, Bonehorde, living weapon, and you can equip it to a creature and give it XX, where X is the number of creatures in all graveyards, which is broken, really broken. Okay, that's that, and then we got land. It's this is probably under for land, since you got mulches and other cards that search out a lot. You don't really need a full amount of land that you probably would normally win. But here we go. One Hinterland Harbor. I only have one because I only have one. And then this can help you search out Bone Horde and this card that I still can't pronounce. I don't know what it's called. This can help you search that out if you really need it and you don't have it in your hand. Really good. And then we got 11 Forests. You know you love that land. 5 basic. I only have 3 actually. And we got islands. We got 6 islands. And then we got 3 swamps. You don't really need that many swamps. You don't really depend on it that much. And you can just search it out with Viridian Emissary. And on to sideboard real quick. This video's getting a little long. Oh well. Ratchet Bomb. This is basically just for token decks. Negate for more counter cards if you really wanted it and you felt like their deck was later game and they had a lot of non-creature spells. And then you have Flash Freeze, good against red-green decks. Then you have Mind Control, which is really good against boss creature decks where they have a lot of really good creatures, and this deck really can't defend against that sometimes because it doesn't have a lot of good effects. This is Tower Geist, decent against flying decks because this doesn't have any flyers in it, except for the spiders. That's the only thing that could block flyers, so you're pretty vulnerable to them, so you kind of need him sometimes. Not of the Bone, just in case you're playing like zombies that are really fast and you need more life all of a sudden, so it helps sometimes. And then to give the deck a little bit more ramp if you need it, to make it go a little faster, 2 Dawntreader Elk. You just sacrifice to get a land, and it's a pretty decent creature too. And then the last 2 cards, Drained Assistant. I lost my second one. That's pretty ridiculous, yeah, but it's a good card. Okay, Drained Assistance. Okay, I gotta probably end this video soon. That's it, guys, and don't forget about my box. It's pretty awesome. You guys can check that out. Next video. I'll probably have it up in 2 days, maybe 1. See you guys later. Thanks, guys. Subscribe.